Greetings.
Can I be of service to you, Sir Divish? I've heard talk that something is going on in Pribyslavitz.
Henry, you've come at just the right moment. I sent a man to Pribyslavitz. My locator, Marius.
What's a locator?
A land allocator. I charged him with checking on the condition of the settlement to see if we can start rebuilding it.
You're planning to resettle the village?
Yes,
Why Pribyslavitz, of all places?
because it's been lying fallow and falling into ruin since it was sacked by Havelmetic years ago. It's about time that changed.
Well, it should be safe there now. We trounced that rabble on the battlefield.
Yes, and that's why I sent my master locator there. However, he should have been back long since.
If you've no objection, I could go and look for him.
I'd appreciate that. He probably just got delayed. But I'd be happier if you checked it out. See you later.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Sir Divish sent me to find you, and it looks like I arrived just in time.
God's truth.
I'm Henry of
My name is Marius Bielek, Master Locator. Sir Divish sent me here to survey the area.
Well, the outlaws are out of the way, so we can go and report to him, right?
Not just those bastards caught me as soon as I arrived. And so far all I've seen is the inside of the tent they tied me up in. I still have a job to do. Although I won't see much in the dark. I'll have to spend the night. Though I doubt I'll get a wink of sleep after what happened. You sure there are no more bandits around?
You've nothing to worry about, unless you're afraid of hares.
Well, come to me after dawn and we'll look the place over together. I'll explain.
All right. Here I am.
Excellent. We can start inspecting the area right away to see what can be built where. Shall we get to it then?
I'll escort you then.
What? Are there more of those bandits around?
No, I just meant... Never mind. Should we get going? Hey, what's this here?
This is a good spot for the rat house. Every village must have one. It'd be nice and prominent. It's on the hillside, so the foundation can stay dry. It can have its own little square, close to the chest. There's no better site here. The church is still standing. Good. Good. Whoever built it did a good job. Considering how old it is and what it's been through recently, it stood up well. It won't be an easy job to fix it, but it can be done. Timber alone won't do, though. We could fit at least one tradesman's shop here. Maybe a baker's? There's quite a lot of space here. It just needs clearing thoroughly. Then we could even fit stables here. Main approach road and the stream. This bridge needs reinforcing. It won't last long in this condition. I reckon it would make sense to build a weir over the stream down there. The water here is clean and can be used to supply the village until we sink a well. It's a good thing we have this stream. No point in building without a water source. Supplies and trade will flow through here. I can't even see past the trees and ruins whether there's room for anything there. But at least the trees are strong and healthy. All we need is a few good woodcutters, and we won't have to bring in any timber from elsewhere. Stone foundations. They'll come in handy, and we're close to the stream. Lots of space here. There's a well here already. All the better. A big space, clean water, close to the village green. A good site for an inn. That's that then. The most essential surveying is done. Good health to you, sir.
So, Master Locator, ready to start building?
There's a long way to go before that. The few ruins that are left are basically beyond repair. It's all overgrown with brush.
Oh dear.
We'll have to get it all cleared before we can start rebuilding it.
So it is possible to rebuild everything?
Yes, absolutely.
But building a whole village is no small enterprise.
We'll need timber, lots of it, which isn't a problem in the middle of the woods, of course. We'll have to hire wage labour to begin with. Quite a lot of men. I think we should get started without delay. There's a lot of work involved, but it'll be well worth the effort. I can just imagine it. The church will dominate the whole settlement.
Oh, that's good news. When will you inform Sir Divish?
Why wait? I'll head to Talmberg right away. But would you keep an eye on things here in the meantime? It would be rather embarrassing to run into more bandits when I return with Sir Divish.
No problem. I'll be right here.
It shouldn't take us long. My lord, welcome to Pribyslavitz. That is to say, welcome back to Pribyslavitz after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although, it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, lad, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir. There was no reasoning with them. They thought since it was 4-1, I'd be no trouble.
I expect that was a fatal mistake.
Just so, sir.
No loss. At least they won't be troubling us again. Let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Pribyslavitz in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Pribyslavitz may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid. Finally, some good news for this province.
And badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far? I want to know all the details.
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village centre will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here, so there will be other buildings away from the square, in particular more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forests for agricultural land and build more farmhouses. But for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
But rebuilding a whole village must cost a king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
Well, that much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price. But raising a settlement from the ashes you see around you is a costly business. Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord, that if all goes well, the investment shall all come back to you with interest.
I hope I shall live to enjoy it, Master Marius.
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for building will need lots of labour. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad. But it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzik and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here, but now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
It seems things are fine. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds, and we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great honour. Thank you.
You will oversee the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office. Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True, but from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such gossip.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential artisans' buildings. And ultimately, the village must produce sufficient earnings to fund further expansion.
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. I shall grant you the proceeds from the whole village for the first 5 years, and you have my permission to use the surrounding woods and land as you see fit.
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm the right man for the job, sir? It's a lot of responsibility.
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honour. Besides, you won't be alone in it. I'll assist you and supervise the construction work.
Phew. All right, then.
So, we're agreed. You'll give this document to the Rattay bailiff. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official appointment as bailiff will be announced.
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, Henry. And now I must get back to my duties at Talmberg. Send word when everything is prepared.
Certainly, sir. Have a safe journey.
Farewell, sir. What now?
Before we can start building as much as an outhouse, we'll have to get the whole area cleared, and we'll need lots of people to work the land and parcel it out.
Right. So I suppose I'd better get to Ratai first and see to that announcement.
Indeed. I'm sure the bailiff will be more than happy. It will get the refugees out of his hair, and the citizens will stop complaining. I'll stay here for now and start planning the building plots. As soon as the labourers arrive, I'll start allocating work to them.
I have a document for you from Sir Divish. It concerns the renewal of Pribyslavitz.
The village you drove those bandits out of?
Very same.
So it's true then? Good. Good. Let me see that document then.
Here it is.
So what have we here? It says I should announce that anyone interested may move to Pribyslavitz to live and work. And Sir Radzig and Sir Hanush also give their consent. In that case, let's not waste any time. Come along with me. There.
Garlic soup for the winter, onion soup for the spring. Asparagus for taste and prunes for what ails you. Try them. Hey! God be with you, Henry.
Hear ye, hear ye. It is hereby announced, in the name of Sir Hanush and Sir Divish, that you, the citizens of Ratai, as well as those who have found temporary refuge here, are permitted to move to the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, to the north of Talmberg Castle, wherein you shall be vouchsafed a new life and new dwellings, providing that you shall contribute to the renewal of the hamlet. All those who choose to accept this offer shall be exempted from payment of taxes for a period of 5 years. They shall be permitted also to make use of timber from the surrounding woods and water from the streams. The hamlet of Pribyslavitz lies in the domain of Sir Divish of Talmberg, and all who settle there shall be duty-bound to him. It is furthermore hereby announced that Henry of Skalitz is appointed to the administration of Pribyslavitz and the office of bailiff therein, which office and privilege have been conferred upon him by Sir Divish for loyalty and services rendered. I would therefore recommend that our Skalitz friends consider this offer very seriously, as nothing better is likely to come your way anytime soon.
Look out.
God save. See you later.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Well, the bailiff read Sir Divish's decree, and now I'm officially bailiff of Pribyslavitz.
Then allow me to congratulate you. What will be your first step?
First, Actually, I'm not quite sure. What would you recommend?
As it happens, I already sought a few things in your absence. You might have noticed that the first people have come from Ratai.
Yeah, I saw some heading here right away.
So when they arrived, I was able to start clearing building plots with them. After they'd erected some temporary dwellings, that is.
So we're ready to get things started?
As long as you know what you want to build, I can show these new people what to do. We'll be building on the sites we've measured out. You can go and look them over first, if you like.
I'll do that. I'll see what's...
Nevertheless, I doubt you'll be able to figure that out just from looking at the sites.
How do I choose what to build where?
I've already given it some thought on your behalf. I even wrote it all down in the accounts ledger. Everything will be recorded there. I'll make a note of every change as we proceed.
Thanks. That'll be a big help. And where can I find this book?
It will always be kept at the rat house.
Well, there's nothing here, so we'll have to build everything. Ale house, bakery, butchers, rat house. Did I mention ale house?
Eventually. But be warned. To begin with, it's always best to start with facilities that will be producing construction materials for everything else. And since we'll mainly be using timber, it makes sense to set up a woodcutter's camp.
All right. And then what?
That depends. Every building has its use. But you'll soon get the grasp of it, and it's all in the ledger.
What about the workers' wages and buying materials for artisans?
The money must be put in the trunk here. The expenditures for wages and materials will be taken from it. So you should keep it topped up to prevent delays. It reminds me, there's the matter of my own pay to be resolved.
Yes, of course.
Sir Divish guaranteed me a fixed income. What's more, this job is an exceptionally big one.
I see. But how much are you thinking?
I have a record of payment here somewhere. Here it is. Let's say 1/4 more than that.
All right. This amount ought to correspond to your work.
It seems we understand each other. I agree.
Good. I'll put your wages in the trunk too. Are you sure it's quite safe?
Quite. Only you and I shall have a key and access to the trunk. Besides, we'll have guards on watch here.
That's reassuring.
That's about all to begin with. If you need any more details, I'll be happy to explain things to you.
Could you explain... What are my duties as bailiff?
As bailiff, you must see to it that the village grows and prospers. You'll have to resolve disputes between citizens and decide what I should have built. The coin for it will come from your own purse. Basically, you'll have to keep the whole locality under control, but you can't just do whatever you like. You're still answerable to Sir Divish, as am I.
Which means...
Which means that if the folk here are unhappy, word will soon get to Sir Divish, and he'll put you in your place. So you'd better see to it that there's no thieving, and folk have jobs to do, and their wages are paid.
Of course. How do I build how...
First, find out how much it'll cost, and whether the upkeep won't ruin you. Everything is written in the ledger. You can check it all there, or just come and see me.
Sure. How do the account...
The most important thing is to know how much profit your buildings generate, and what they cost to operate. That's written on the very first page of the ledger, which will be kept at the rack. Whenever we erect a new building, I record it there. And you'll find all the profit generated by the village in the trunk next to the ledger.
And what if we spend more than we earn?
Then you'll have to put the amount necessary for covering the operating costs into the trunk.
I see. Probably best to have a little extra there for a rainy day then. How to operate it?
Those are the workers' wages, costs of material and equipment for tradesmen, and so on.
And what if I don't have enough coin?
Then production will grind to a halt. Watch out for that. Folks soon get grouchy if they're not getting paid. The amount needed each day is recorded in the accounts ledger too. So you should keep enough in the trunk to cover the wages.
And how do I pay the workers?
Don't concern yourself about that. I'll take care.
So I could put enough money there for, say, 3 days in advance?
Indeed. Simple enough.
All right. How can I get new people to come to the village?
Don't worry about that. Folk will gradually turn up of their own accord when there are houses for them. Each building can house a certain number of people. The bigger the house, the more inhabitants. And the more space you have for them, the more country folk will come here in search of a better livelihood.
What about tradesmen?
I can find you fairly competent ones. But if you can get really skilled artisans, it will certainly be a boon for the village income. Although it's not all that easy to get skilled people.
I see.
You could try asking the two Sasau armourers for a start. They're always at each other's throats, so maybe one of them could work here. But don't forget to get a forge and armoury workshop set up for him. Otherwise you'll only be wasting his time.
Right. I must give some thought to who else would come in. How can I improve?
The process is exactly the same as for building from the ground up. We need to have enough coin, materials, and of course, something to improve. It goes without saying that there's no point in better blacksmith's equipment if you've no forge to put it in.
Well, I can't argue with, but why bother with improvements at all?
Because they make it possible to produce better goods that can be sold at a higher price, so we'll earn more money.
Nothing. So?
Let's see. You're still far from having the income. Well, the village isn't ready yet for the expansion Sir Divish has planned. The church is still in ruins. Doesn't create a good impression. We're on the right track, but we haven't reached the end yet.
All right, I'll get started. I want to build some.
Certainly, Mark.
I'd like to build the rat.
It's impossible.
I'd rather not. I've decided what to build. I want to build.
Certainly.
We'll need woodcutters to ensure timber supplies for building.
Let's go to the site. I'll see to the building.
I want to build some.
Certainly.
That rickety old footbridge won't do. We need a proper bridge and a firm road.
Very well. Come along with me. Once we're there, I'll oversee the building, so they don't botch anything.
We're going to build it.
Right here. I'll just... all good.
I want to build.
Certainly.
Trade is important.
Right.
We're going to build here?
Yes.
I'm ready.
I'll just quick... All good.
I want to build...
Certainly.
No, we don't have a tavern here yet. People need to wash the dust down after a hard day's work.
It's impossible.
With all the woods around, we ought to keep bees here. There's always a demand for honey.
Let's go to the site. I'll see to the build.
I want to build...
Certainly.
I'd like to build...
Good.
We're going to build here?
Right here.
I want to build...
Certainly.
Let's start repairing the church.
Very well. Come along with me. Once we're there, I'll oversee the build so they don't botch anything.
We're going to build here?
Yes.
What is it this time?
We have a problem with water. That is, with the stream. With the, use of the stream.
The stream? What seems...
Sir, they won't let me have a shit.
What's that?
Your locator here won't let people go for a shit.
God give me strength.
Master Locator, would you be so kind as to cast some light on the matter?
I never forbade anyone to defecate. It's not something that can be prohibited anyway.
You did so.
All I asked was that people did their business further downstream. After all, we don't want our water supply contaminated. It could cause disease.
I've decided. Defecating will only be allowed at least 150 feet from the village. Anyone caught infringing this decree will get 10 lashes of the cane.
What? That's nearly as much as for stealing.
A strict decree, I admit. But it's for the common good.
Well, at least we have permission to go and shit again. I'll go and tell the fellas we can go to the stream. It's been a tough few days.
You mean you haven't been since... No, don't say it. I don't even want to know.
Good day to you.
I'd like to buy some grain.
Grain? What do you want grain for?
I'm responsible for the rebuilding of Pribyslavitz.
I heard some talk about that. I suppose I can sell you part of the crop. How many bushels do you want?
I'll need fodder for horses, at least 10 strong animals, and wheat for the baker. He'll have to bake for the whole village.
That's quite a lot. It won't be cheap.
Well, even though it's for Sir Divish's village.
Aye. Unless he sets the allocations himself, I have to make up for any differences in supplies. And you'll have to pay for that. Have you got someone to transport it? Or are you gonna haul it there yourself?
I've got a merchant to take care of it.
Fair enough. Here's my offer.
All right.
Good luck to you.
God save.
I'm here at the behest of Sir Divish. I'm looking for the overseer of this quarry. Would that be you, Goodman?
Aye, that's me. What can I do for you?
Sir Divish has decided to rebuild Pribyslavitz, and he's entrusted me to take charge, along with his locator.
Aha, so it's you. I heard about Sir Divish's plans. What is it you need, then?
Well, we've started with the reconstruction work, but we need more than just timber.
You need stone for the construction?
Exactly. And for repairing the church.
Well now, you're really not doing things by halves, are you? The thing is, though, we're already working flat out supplying stone for the monastery construction in Sasau. I can't cut back on their supplies. Sir Divish wouldn't be at all pleased.
But I really need that stone.
Well, I suppose I could try and hire a few more quarrymen to increase production. But we can't transport it. Even Sasau sends their own wagon here. Have you got someone to carry the stone?
I've got my own merchant. He'll take care of it with his hired hands.
Splendid. So let's talk about the price.
The stone is for Sir Divish. It's for a village he wants to rebuild as quickly as possible. I doubt he'd take it well that the overseer of his own quarry is overcharging him for it.
Well, you have a point. I'll take that into account in the price.
That's better.
Excellent. We'll start sending the stone as soon as your merchant gets here.
Good luck then.
God grant you health.
I'd like to buy charcoal from you.
Of course, Henry, anything for you.
It might be more than you think.
How much charcoal could you possibly need?
5 bags. On a regular basis.
Haven't you noticed winter is over?
There's a new forge in Pribyslavitz, and I need to supply it with charcoal, seeing as how I'm the bailiff.
Bailiff, eh? Well, I never. Congratulations.
It's not a bed of roses, but thanks.
All right, but we can't let you have that amount for nothing, even if you did help us with ginger.
Don't worry, I wouldn't expect that.
How are you going to haul the
I've got a merchant of my own. He'll come here regularly with a wagon to pick it up. You just have to load it for him.
As you wish. About the price...
Deal.
All right, we'll send the first load as...
See you later.
God be with you.
I'd like to buy some livestock. Could you arrange that?
Maybe. What are you after?
Cattle, pigs, poultry, everything.
Starting a farm, are you?
Swords into plowshares. No, it's not for me. It's for the village of Pribyslavitz.
What? For the whole village?
Aye. A few dozen people at least.
Well, no. That's no laughing matter. But it can be done, although they might not be the best animals.
What do you mean, not the best?
Well, it's like this. I've got to supply meat for... And the gentry in Ledechko want the best.
So what's left for me then?
The animals might not be as good as what you'd get somewhere else. I'll sell you older beasts, ones that ain't so fat and the like, or ones no one wants to buy, because they don't like the look of them. That's how it is. But for that, have you got someone to herd them?
I've got a merchant.
So we'll shake on it?
Deal.
God be with you.
There's another unpleasant...
Nothing too terrible, I hope.
That's for you to decide, Master Bailiff. As you know, the woods and everything in them belong to our liege lord. He gave you the right to make use of them. But as far as I know, no one else is allowed to hunt there.
Let me guess. Some of our fold are putting game on their tables from our woods, and I have to deal with them.
Just so. A case like this ought to be judged by his lordship himself, but I fear Sir Divish might be a little too strict in this matter.
So what are my options?
You can hand the poachers over to justice, let them off with a warning, or, of course, one can always turn a blind eye and leave it in the hands of God. What's your decision?
We'll confiscate the poached game and put the fear of God into the culprit so they don't do it again. No point in carrying it any higher. We should keep our own affairs in order.
A wise decision, Henry.
I want to build some.
Certainly.
Let's finish fixing up the...
Very well. Come along, so they don't botch.
I feel quite hungry.
I want to build...
Certainly.
I'd like to
It's impossible.
It's time the church had a new altar. It's not the house of God without one.
Good. We've got everything.
We're going to build here.
Yeah.
There's work to be done.
Good choice. Come with me.
We're going to build...
Up.
There's work to be done. We're going to build here. Right. Up. I want to build.
Certainly.
I was thinking it.
Very well. Come on. So they don't...
We're going to build.
Right.
I'm up.
Hey,
I want to build.
Certainly.
We should have the church. It ought to be grand.
Let's go to the side.
We're going to build here.
Indeed.
I'm up.
We've...
I want to build.
Certainly.
We'll need plenty of tools, and they'll need repairing too. So we have to have a blacksmith.
Right. That should do it. We've got everything we need to start building. Come with me.
We're going to build here. I'm up. I want to build.
Certainly.
But an armourer will always find custom and won't go hungry. We should have one here too.
Right. That should do it. We've got everything we need to start building. Come with me.
We're going to build here. want to build...
Certainly.
No, we don't have a tavern here yet. People need to wash the dust down after a hard day's work.
Right.
We're going to build here.
Right here. We...
Rook and Lumiere, a known pair of troublemakers. Fighting again, are you? What's it this time?
Rook is a filthy, thieving magpie.
This bastard is a fucking liar.
That you can insult each other in your own...
As you know, Master Bailiff, I've got a daughter, and this Rook here has a son, and like you'd expect, the son is as much of a beast as his old man. He put a belly on my girl, and then turned his back on her.
A likely tale, you lying scoundrel. We're a decent, honest family, sir. But that daughter of his, nothing but a whore she is. She seduced my son. And what's more, this thieving bastard stole my cow, too.
Enough swearing. One at a time, and settle down. What's this about stealing a cow?
When that no-good son of his wouldn't do the right thing by my daughter, Rook here agreed in the end to give me a cow as compensation for her honour.
And I did. Only then, that slut ran off with some minstrel. Where's the honour in that? And besides, it could be anyone's brat she's carrying.
Tell me more about your daughter.
Pretty as a picture, and a good lass. Though a little flighty. She had her head turned by that coxcomb, and he put her in the family way, and then he wouldn't marry her. And who else would take her with a youngster? So we agreed on a cow in compensation.
That much is true. Only, I'm sure you'll agree, Master Bailiff, where there's no honor to lose, there's nothing to compensate. A girl that runs off with some wandering jester.
What could she do when she couldn't show her face in public? That's what you paid for.
What about this son of yours?
Well, he ain't the brightest star in the sky, but he's a kind soul and a good worker. That slut of a daughter of Lumiere's got him all worked up, got herself pregnant, and then broke his heart. I talked him out of marrying her myself, because I'd rather give this bastard my best cow than my son.
I won't listen to this. That boy is a simpleton and a brute. And for sure, my daughter never went with him of her own free will.
I wanted no more to do with Lumiere or his damned daughter, so I agreed to the compensation instead of marriage. And no sooner was the deal done than the slut ran off. And I want my cow back.
You'll get nothing. A deal is a deal. It's your fault I've lost my one and only daughter.
I've heard enough to know how things... The girl ran off, so there's no question of compensation for lost honour. The cow is Rook's.
Thank you, sir. I never doubted your wisdom.
You call that justice? I won't stay another minute in a village where the bailiff takes a hand in daylight robbery.
They won't help
I want to build...
Certainly.
The tavern could have its own brewery. Then we'll have fresher ale and fatter profits.
Right. That should do it. We've got everything we need to start building. Come with me.
We're going to build...
Right.
I'm ready. I want to build...
Certainly.
Folk like a game of dice, and so do I. We should have a dice table and invite some players. Maybe I can even win back some of what I'm paying out in wages.
Very well. Come along with... So they don't...
We're going to build here?
Right.
I'm ready.
Bad news, I'm afraid, Master Bailiff.
That makes a change. Well, out with it. What happened?
2 wagons that were on the way here with grain and fodder supplies were ambushed by a band of Cumans. The wagoners escaped by the skin of their teeth, but the supplies are gone.
Ugh, damn it. That is bad news.
Worse than bad. Those were supplies for the whole year, and we won't be able to replace them. Things are hard enough as it is. Sir Divish had to lower his quota for Townburg just to let us have it.
So we've no grain for the baker, no fodder for the stables?
I'm afraid not, Henry. We're left with only 2 options. One as bad as the other. Either we can go cap in hand asking for more, and look like incompetent fools. And anyway, we'd be lucky to get any.
Not too appealing, I'm not...
There's still a few sacks of grain in the labourers' camp, but they bought it themselves. We could, but it would make us rather unpopular. It's for you to decide.
We'll order another delivery. They sent one, they'll surely send another.
I fear they'll send us nothing but mouldy dregs from the bottom of the barrel.
We'll order another...
I fear...
Well, we'll requisition whatever supplies are here for the good of all. Folk will just have to tighten their belts.
I fear that would provoke an uprising.
It can't be helped. We'll just have to convince them it's for the common good. I want to build something.
Certainly. We've already finished it.
We need guards to protect the village and keep the peace. And we need to build them a guardhouse.
Right. That should do it.
Build here. I want to build...
Certainly.
Let's build an archery range for the garrison. It's not only good for training, but also for passing the time and keeping them out of the tavern.
Very well. Come along with me.
We're going to build here? I'm ready.
Up.
I want to build...
Sir,
Let's build a butchery.
let's go to the site.
We're gonna build... I'm ready.
Up. All.
Can I help?
I want to build...
Sir?
Who are you?
We've already finished.
If we build a smokehouse for the butcher, he'll be able to keep us supplied with...
Good.
We're gonna build...
Up. All good.
I want to build...
We've already finished.
So, how am I doing with the village?
Let's see. How do you think you're doing? We've already finished everything successfully. Excellent work, Henry.
I'm glad you're pleased.
Master Bailiff, this can't go on.
Oh, you've got yourself all worked up. Is there a problem?
I should say so. Things have been quiet for so long we've rested on our laurels. But the enemy never sleeps.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's still vermin in these woods. The two-legged kind. There's humans wandering around like they own the place. There's not enough men in the garrison. They're falling asleep on duty. All it takes is for some band of cutthroats to come back looking for some stash they've buried here, and we're done for.
You reckon we need more men? But where would I find them?
Sir, we can manage without a few woodcutters or farmhands, but men-at-arms are essential. Give me a few men, and I'll make soldiers of them.
You're right. I'll let you have a few woodcutters and labourers.
Thank you, sir. That's a wise decision.
How are you? I'll be with you.
We'll have to clear the northern tip of the woods, but first I'll have to go and inspect it.
Very well. Once you've done that, come to me and we'll discuss the matter.
Yes, sir. Mother of God!
Sir Divish, I finished the assignment you gave me. Pribyslavitz is up and running once more, and making money. And the church is as good as new.
Indeed? That's excellent news. I can't wait to see it for myself.
Of course, we can go right away. Welcome to Pribyslavitz.
Well now, I've heard some reports, but to see it with my own two eyes, beautiful.
Me and Marius did our best.
As you saw on the way here, the village is prospering, trade is booming, and the villagers are doing well.
I saw the new buildings as we were riding in. You've both done a magnificent job. I owe you my gratitude and commendation.
Thank you, sir.
How did you manage it so quickly?
We had to clear the woods and the ruins of the former buildings.
I arranged supplies of building materials and victuals from traders nearby.
Thanks to which we were able to build what you see here today.
And the church here has become the dominant feature of the whole village.
I'm especially proud of our church.
Indeed, you have plenty to be proud of. Thank you both. I can say wholeheartedly that you have not disappointed me. On the contrary, you have exceeded my expectations.
It's been an honor.
I quite
Master Marius, I'd like you to stay on in the village. As soon as things have settled in the province, we can begin with the expansion as planned.
As you wish.
As for you, Henry, as I promised, you shall continue to have the income from the village, as well as the bailiff's office.
Thank you, my lord.
I thank you, Henry. Few could manage what the two of you have achieved here.
I want to build something.
We've already finished.